Good evening.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you today.
It's good to be here tonight. Good to be here tonight.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while. I'm waiting for you to show up.
Well, hey, thank God for this day.
Thank God for this
Thank
day.
God for another day to allow me to be here to be on your show.
Thank you. It's great to have you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eligha Pryor, and I am here today to interview this great, successful young man. His name is Eligha Pryor. He has accomplished so much. And from the time that I met this gentleman, he has inspired me, motivated me to push on. And tonight we are interviewing him tonight to find out why Eligha. So,
Right.
You want to introduce yourself to the public?
Hey, my name is Eligha Pryor. I'm so glad to be here on Eric's show tonight. He reached out to me because he thought it was important, and I thought it was important that people that don't know me, this would be a good way to find out who is Eligha Pryor. What is my purpose? Why am I doing this? And I took the opportunity to say, hey, yes, I think it's very important. Let's do this. Because I have a passion for this. I truly have a passion to inspire people, help people, and let people know that they can do it. That's why I'm here tonight on Eric's show, to let you know that you can do it. So yeah, I'm all in.
All right. Well, to begin, tell us a little, where were you born and raised?
Okay, first of all, I was born and raised in what they call Gifford, Florida.
Mm-hmm. I heard of that.
Gifford, Florida, it's a little town where I don't know the population, but I know it's very small.
Right.
And it's mostly minorities there.
Right.
And a lot of violence there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually been really, really bad here lately.
Yeah.
It's a little rough when I was coming up too. But here lately, in the past few years, there's been a lot more killing and a lot more violence. That it wasn't as bad, but it's considered, hey, it's a way to grow up and way to come out of things.
Right.
So my thing is, yeah, Gifford, Florida. The city is Vero Beach, but you got the little area that you don't see on the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Gifford. That's where I'm originally from, Gifford. Born and raised in Gifford.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I can speak from there too. My dad bought a home there.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, a few years ago, growing up.
Okay.
So I'm kind of.
Oh, you know what Gifford is? Huh?
I know Gifford.
It's pretty rough.
It can be, brother.
You gotta be in tip-top shape.
That is true. That is true.
It's all good.
It is. So growing up, what type of kid were you?
What type of kid was I?
Yeah.
We recording?
We're recorded.
Oh my. Well, it's all good. I'm not ashamed of who I was, but it also let me know what God can do.
Indeed.
I was that kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was that kid. I was a kid where I believe I was 3-4 years old. My parents at the time was staying in an apartment, maybe considered the projects, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hard-working father, hard-working mother. They pulled together. And at the time, I was the fourth kid.
Right.
I was the fourth kid, but I always had the nerve. I was a high risk taker as a kid. So as a kid, I was risky. I was always doing the things that the kid wouldn't do.
Right.
I can go back and remember where I think I was 3 years old where they had a big wheel. You ever heard of a big wheel?
I heard of them.
Okay, big wheel was, they had 2 little wheels in the back.
Right.
Big old wheel in the front.
Mm-hmm.
They call that the big wheel. Well, I had a big wheel. And I never forget, I got the big wheel and I saw the stairs.
Right.
We was on the second floor, sitting in an apartment. And I just knew that it'd be pretty cool if I could ride this big wheel down those stairs.
Boy.
I said, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
It looked fun.
And what happened next?
And I'm going to tell you, one day I got the nerve.
Right.
And I took that big wheel, nobody outside. And I said, you know what, today is the day.
Right.
I'm going to take this big wheel down there to the city, because I just knew I could do it.
Right.
And I did it.
You did it.
I got my little big wheel,
That's it.
But at the end, I flipped over, bumped my head, cut my forehead, bumped my head open. But I can say I did. I did it. So I was a very wild kid, I would say. I did some things that I knew my parents would like.
Fearless, right?
I just was always that kid. You know what I mean? But I made it. I made it, but I took some risk. So I was a pretty wild kid.
Right.
I was a kid that everybody, would come to holidays and things like that. Everybody come over to our house, all the kids in the neighborhood. I was a very outgoing kid, talkative kid, wild kid.
Right.
So everybody seemed to like me back then. So everybody come to my house Christmas time, birthday time. Everybody come to my house because they knew I had something.
I hear
you know what I mean? So I was that kind of wild kid.
All right.
Yeah.
Does that consider the craziest thing you've done?
As a kid,
yeah.
Nah, I've done a lot of crazy things. But I did one other thing I thought was pretty crazy. There was my granddaddy. He had a dog called Cookie. The dog was named Cookie. I don't know why I called Cookie. I forget because it looked like a chocolate chip.
Right.
He was a kind of a brown dog or a light white dog with the brown spots on it. You know what I mean? So like some cookie dough.
Right.
But, so they called him Cookie. And here I go again with my big wheel. I told you about the big wheel, right? Me and my big wheel, we had a lot of things going.
Right.
Well, the big wheel, the dog had the tail out. And I ran on the dog tail. I figured out, and the dog bit me.
Oh boy!
I ran over the dog tail, and the dog bit me somewhere, whatever. My mama, I think she hit the dog, beat the dog off me, whatever. But I thought my big wheel could do anything.
Right.
Well, I think that's one of the craziest things I've done.
Right.
As a really young kid, but I did a lot of things. It was always something. I was always out of the 5 or 6 kids. Of the 6 kids, I have four sisters and one brother.
Okay.
And I was the 4th kid, and I always did a lot of things. My daddy said, "Don't do this." When he leave and go to work, I'll do it.
Right.
My mama, she take us to the dentist. I clown, I have fun, I do some craziness. My daddy telling me, "Don't go in the bushes." I go in the bushes.
Right.
Then when he get home, he called my name. Now we're gonna make a path. I was that kid, man. I was the baddest
trouble child,
trouble kid,
right?
Out the bunch. But it's all right. Yeah, I am today.
For the life, right?
Yeah, I am today. Yeah.
What do you remember as a kid?
What do I remember as a kid? As of what? What do you mean as of?
Meaning like a memory, that stays with you.
Well,
as a grown up.
Well, I mean, after I look over my life now, what I remember as a kid, meaning young man,
right.
I just remember I was one of those kids that always stayed in trouble. I got away with a lot of things, but I was the kid that always stayed in trouble. So, hey, as a kid, I think I don't want to say the bad kid, but I was a kid that was always into something.
Right. Attention.
Yeah, I was always trying to get attention.
Right.
I mean, my dad them have parties. They have their dad them have parties, and then they friends come over.
Right.
And I was all excited about all the people here, and then my dad friends bring their children,
right.
and if I didn't want the party to end, or if I didn't want my friends to leave, right. So what I did, I seen the parent keys. The parent keys had the keys in. I get a good key, go throw them in the bush.
Oh my!
You know what I'm saying? I threw them in the bushes because I didn't want nobody to leave.
Right.
I was that kid, man.
Wow,
I did a lot of crazy stuff, man.
Trouble,
but it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. But look at me now.
So, having done all those trouble things, brother, who was your role model when you wanted to be like as a kid?
Growing up as a kid, in my younger years, my dad, Eligha Pryor Sr., he has always been this role model in my life.
Right.
He was a guy where I didn't know this when I was younger, but as I grew older, he was always sharing things with me,
right.
Where he come from, the hardship that he had to endure as a young man. Being 3 years old, having to work to help take care of his family.
Right.
It's kind of hard. Can you imagine being 3 years old? You're barely out of your diapers, and you got to literally pick cotton or whatever just to help your parents live.
Right.
Well, my dad, he experienced that, and where he come from, I've always, when I became a teenager, he always took us back to go visit his mom,
right.
and it was like, wow, look where my dad come from. It was like horrible. It's like there's nobody there in town now, and it's 2019, and it's the population is maybe 1,000 people, and it's like that right now in 2019. It's like a third world country to me, if you ask me.
Right.
But and so just to see where my dad come from and to see all the things that he accomplished, I'll never forget. I was a young man, I think around 12 or 13 years old,
right.
And my dad had all these employees. My dad had gained about 60 employees. Now this is a man that was, he had to get out of school in 3rd grade or at a young age to help take care of his siblings, because they had a very large family, 14 people, right. 14 children, I would say. And since he was one of the oldest, he had to work and help take care of the children.
Right.
And then to see that, so he didn't have the education, and to see all the jobs that my dad had gained, when some big jobs come into town, they contacted Eligha Pryor, and just I saw that. And I'll never forget that my dad, on Fridays, he dumped all this money out on his countertop.
Right.
Had a huge countertop, about the size of a couch,
right.
Not a love seat, but a sofa. My dad had all this money just scattered all over, and he's paying his guys. And that may not be legal where you're paying your guys cash, right. But that's what I saw. That for me to see that, it lets me know that my dad is making a lot of money. So my dad, you just playing like you're playing cards, and paying his guys. He get the money here, get the money over here, and put it in an envelope, hand it to his guys. I was like, man, I want to be like my dad. My dad making all this money. I want to be like my dad. I saw that at a young age. So when I was in the 8th grade, I said I want to be like my dad. Right. My dad making all this money. I want to be like my dad. So my dad was my role model in life. And not only that, he was my father. He was my father figure. He right. was the guy that showed me how the man should be, how to work, how to grind.
Right.
So, but then there was also other influences that I looked at, but then influenced me to do wrong things.
Okay.
When I saw my daddy making all this money, and I seen how he was able to buy his house, build a new home, and for this big family, it inspired me. I was young, and I saw what my dad was capable of doing.
Right.
But then I watched Rap City. Back in the day, it was Rap City where you see all the rappers driving these fine cars and doing all these nice things. That excited me. I was like, man, I want to be like them guys too. My daddy didn't do as big things like those guys, riding all in these Ferraris and all that kind of stuff. But my dad had a great living. But to see it on TV, like, hey, I see them guys can do it. I want to do that too. Right. Then in the real world, you see the drug boys. Right. The drug boys ride. They had these fire cars, the big rims, and so like. I'm like, man, I want to make that money just like them guys. But I was not influenced to say I'm gonna go sell drugs. I just say I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna work hard to get that.
The legal way.
Yeah, the legal way.
Right.
And and so watching successful people, I decided I want to be successful too.
Right.
So that's what the drive for me. So the role models were my daddy, Rap City.
Right.
Just watching successful people, I thought was successful in my eyesight because of the things that they had in life that I wanted to have as a young man.
Right. And you use that as a positive.
I use that as a positive. It gave me more energy saying I can do it because I see it.
That's really good.
It's hard to tell somebody you can do it and then they don't have it.
Indeed.
But when somebody, you see it, like, man, they got it. I know it's
different story.
It's a different story.
It's the proof about living life, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Exactly. What type of student were you?
Student?
Yeah.
Like a student. Well, I was that student that I never forget. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say. it. I mean, I can remember all the way from preschool. From preschool, I'll never forget what the teachers. I was the last kid that to learn how to tie a shoe. There's a lot of kids now. I mean, there's a lot of kids. Everybody knew how to tie a shoe. I was the last one to know how to tie a shoe. You know.
Okay.
I don't want to say I was slow, but maybe I did what maybe I just was not interested.
Well,
You know what I mean? I didn't think it was a big deal. I just, you know what I mean?
Right.
Took it in. You know, just took it in.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as a student, even as a young a preschooler, all through school, I just went pretty much school to have fun.
Right.
I like to laugh. I like to see. I like to have fun. So I like this is the time I get a chance to see my friends.
Right.
So I never took school like really, really serious. Even though I was taught that school is this, school was that. I went to school to have fun. I like to make people laugh. You know what I mean? I like to say, let's make this a great experience. So a lot of people gave me answers to a lot of tests. You know, I never forget when I went to 6th grade. My 5th grade year, I had an honor roll. Right. So when I get an honor roll, my dad gave me a lot of gifts. He gave me nice go-karts. He gave me the 5 things. Like, man, my kid is smart. I'm gonna bless you for Christmas. I get the 5 go-karts. But then when it was time to go to middle school,
so he changed.
When I got in middle school, now they have first different class. You got first, second, third, and fourth period, sixth period, seventh period. Right. Now we're splitting up. I see my friends that was in that one class, but now they're spread it out. They got level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 gifted classes. Right. I'm in these gifted classes, and the people telling me to read this or read that. Now I'm scratching my head like, man, hey, you know what I mean? I think I got to class the same day. The teacher say, hey, I don't know how you got here, but we got to lower you down. So, I was that kid. I was always, had the personality where everybody was always trying to help me. Likeable. So I was that likable guy. But school was, it just wasn't for me. Right. It just wasn't for me.
So, what high school you went to and what year you graduated?
Oh, Vero Beach High School. Vero Beach High School was the school that I attended. And, I attended. I can't say I finished. Okay. I did not finish high school. I was a guy, got out, I believe it was 10th grade. 10th grade, I think I got enough. I think I got enough education that I thought at the time that I needed, because I just got thrown off by some things. I was a young man. My dad, like I say, he was always giving me things. I had 2 cars, not 14. 14 years old, I had a big old long Cadillac. 15 years old, I had a Cadillac and a Spectrum, Chevrolet Spectrum, man. I don't even have a license. Right. So my dad gave me a lot of freedom. I was his first son. I was his first son, and then I had nerve. I was driving, I was the age of 8. So he just knew I could do it. I'll never forget, I was 14 years old, driveway 30, 40, 50 miles from the house, you know what I mean? Right, so he always knew I had the nerve to do things, so my dad took a risk, but it just kind of grew me up a little too fast, because now when I'm out there in the streets, 14, 15 years old, my friends are home asleep. I'm out there and hanging out with adults, So, it's nothing to brag on, but it's just something that I can look back over my life and say, wow, God brought me through all of that just to get me where I am today. So, I never count anybody out. People don't finish high school. It's not for everyone, but that don't mean that you can't make it. Exactly. So So the question you asked me was, what kind of guy? What school did I attend to? Yeah, Vero Beach High School, class of '93.
Okay.
All right.
What did you do after you left high school?
Okay, when I left high school, when I left Vero Beach High School, I never forget. I didn't just leave. I had a note on my car to go take. If you have any books, take them back, because we just withdrew you from school. Because I wasn't going to school anyway. It's like every time I go to school, I'm always going out doing something else. So my parents got enough of that. So it was like, hey, my dad said, hey, we need to put him out here. I need to put him to work. He's not going to school anyway. So I never get that letter on my car. Take your books back if you got any. Your dad wants you to come out here to get to work. I never forget that when I was in the parking lot, how I was just crushed. It like a light popped on, like, oh my God, this is really real. I'm not gonna see my friends anymore. And 'cause my dad's a construction worker and he's hardcore. Right. He was very tough. He was a very pushy guy. And like now, the light popped on, like, oh my God. All the fun.
You're an adult now.
all the fun that I was having in school
Right.
has just ended. I got to go work with my dad. Oh my God.
Right.
So I was in a little panic, but guess what? I made it through.
Exactly.
So I went to work with my dad full time the next day, and it was just something that had to happen.
Exactly.
If it didn't happen, I wouldn't be here today.
That is true.
You know, so it was something that just was destined.
Okay. And we'll get to the interesting questions.
Okay, well, cool. Well, bring them on.
That's right, brother.
Bring them on.
Okay. By leaving high school, how did that turn out for you?
For me, Eligha Pryor, leaving high school, didn't graduate. For me, it was the best thing that I've done, because it made me grow up quickly. Now I am. I had to turn into a responsible young man, and so at the age of 18, I already had the mindset I wanted to be like my father.
Correct.
And I ended up getting my business license at the age of 18. My daddy was a masonry contractor where he was able to do block, concrete, stucco. And I wanted to be like my dad. So at the age of 18 years old, while I was legal enough to take the exam, I took the exam. I did the exam at the age of 18 on top of working all day long. I worked all day long, and then I still had to go home to study. I didn't go to school. I didn't have to go to class. I didn't go to college.
Right.
At nighttime. I always studied at home. I didn't have time to go out and about to night classes.
Right.
I had to literally work all day long in the hot sun, and then use the time to try to study at home. And I did. At 18 years old, I was a masonry contractor too, just like my father. So I could say, hey, I was the youngest masonry contractor in the River County. I did it. I was that guy.
It's impressive.
And not only that, I was the fastest, and I think still to this day, the fastest block mason in the world. That's my thought. That's how I feel. My thing is, hey, Google and see if anybody laid 3,800 block a day. Not brick. Block. 8 by 16, 35 pound block. 3,800 block per day. That was me. So I was not only a successful masonry contractor, but I was the one that I made a lot of money doing it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't see that every day.
No, I haven't seen it. My dad never saw it, and people that you have to see it to believe it. But anyway,
okay,
that's
all right. Let's carry on. What was the biggest accomplishment you would say happened to you in business?
Well, again, what I thought was big at the time was when I accomplished something at the age of 18. Mm-hmm. Been in business, become my own entrepreneur at age 18, and not only just becoming an entrepreneur, I consider myself a successful entrepreneur because at the age of 19, I made $4.5 million.
Wow.
19 years old, you might as well say fresh out of high school.
Can you say that number again?
I'm $4.5 million, 4.3 million.
At the age of 18.
19 years old.
19.
My first year in business made $4.3 million. So I was not just the normal guy. And unfortunately, I found out later on that why I was that young, able to be so successful, is because I found out now that I can tell you that I had favor. I had favor from God, and at the time I didn't know. I just thought that I just had what it took. I thought it was all me, but I found that it was favor from God. That's why I was able to do what I was able to do.
That's good. By having favor from God, man.
Now I know. I know it's the best thing that you can ever have.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Mm-hmm. If you could go back and change your past business decision before now, what would that be?
If I can go back and change any business decision, that's enormous. I would say if I can go back and change, I would say don't think that everybody that smiles in your face like you or believe in you or would not hurt you. Because I was always smiling. I was always, very outgoing. I'm an outgoing guy.
Right.
And the way I was raised, I wasn't raised with the where you hear a lot of the white man or the black man and the because of the white man I can't do this, because of the white man I can't do that. My parents did not raise me like that. Okay. Even though that was going on,
right.
I was not raised like that. My daddy showed me, and even though he was around a lot of that from Augusta, Arkansas, where he experienced those things, he did not raise his children by being afraid or becoming the man you should be because people.
Right.
So I wasn't raised, he never raised none of his children, his family like that. It was all about, if you want it, you go get it, work hard for it.
Right.
People have made the way to give you the opportunity to work hard. You work hard, you can reap the benefits because of your labor. And that's what I did.
Right.
So by me being raised like that, not knowing how people think or how people feel, I took it lightly. And if I could do it again, I would say keep things to myself. Be a little bit more humble. Open my eyes a little bit more.
Right.
Don't just think that everybody likes you or everybody's for you because you think you're doing the right thing. It's not so.
It's not.
It's not the way.
I know you mentioned hard work pays off, right? I know you got a motivational video
Yes.
on YouTube
Yes.
that talks about that.
Well, the reason why I thought that I should put something out there for people to understand that hard work pays off is because a lot of people wonder why when they see successful people in their eyes,
right?
Why are they driving the Lamborghini? Why are they driving? They have the big house. Why are they in the finest cars that they desire to have?
Right.
I think it's very important to let people know that it's not easy. To accomplish great things in life, you must work hard. You must sacrifice a lot of things.
Right.
You must give up a lot of things. And you must push harder. And when you push and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, eventually you can look back and say, hard work pays off.
Indeed.
Hard work meaning that the countless hours that you put in while everybody's sleeping, get 8 hours and get 9 to 10 hours of sleep. But when you're grinding and you're trying to accomplish something in life, you're trying to put a check on something that you always desire. Sometimes you're sleeping 4 hours. You're working 20 and you're sleeping 4 hours. Hard work pays off. You're beating up your body. Hard work pays off. But then you get to that point where you look back and like, I did it. Now, since you accomplished your goal and the dream, now relax for a little bit. Relax and say, hey, I did it. I made it. But you can't get these things unless you work hard and push hard, because I don't want nobody to think that everything is given to people. It's called the dedication and hard work and sacrificing that people have to go through to get the finer things in life.
And stay motivated.
Yes. So, yeah.
What happened in your life to change your way of thinking?
Now, that's a big, what got me here today, Eric, is, and God, after getting to know Him and gaining a relationship with God, He does everything perfect. He know how to get your attention. I didn't know that, but I experienced it for myself.
Right.
My downfall in life, it wasn't the money that changed me. What changed me was when I was going through my business downfalls in life, my personal relationship in life. My dad got sick on me. You know, we thought that it was just a virus, and we found out it was cancer. You know, so when we found out it was cancer, and then we got the information on stages, we found out my dad was literally at the last stage of cancer. They was telling us there was 5 stages of cancer, right. And really the 5th stage is really where
can't do anything.
There's the 5th stage, meaning that you really is just not really here. But my dad was at the 4th stage, and when they diagnosed my dad with 4th stage cancer, they couldn't even believe he was able to talk because he was just that far gone. But again, that's God, you know. So what really changed my life was when I saw that God healed my father while I was broke, while I was down in life, financially, spiritually, emotionally, in a dark, very dark place in the valley. And he healed my dad while I didn't have nothing. I realized that God loves me that much to save my father while I was down. Because it was very hurting to know that my dad only had 20 days of life to live. And my dad was going to see his son broke. He's going to leave here where my son was a very successful guy, and then all of a sudden my son is struggling. Right. And now he's going to die on me like that. So I didn't want my dad to see his last memories in life that his son is struggling. And for God to save my father and heal my father while I was down, I realized that God loved me just that much. Who could do that? I never had a relationship with God until I really took out the time and saw that he loved me that much. And that's what I always kept on saying. It's like, God, you love me that much to do this for me? You know? And that would change my life. So my mission is, I just feel like I owe God. I feel like I have to do what's right for people. I have to be that spoken vessel down here on earth to encourage people and motivate people and let them know that God can do it all. And that's what changed my life. That was the most important and the biggest thing that happened in my life, is when I was introduced to God through my dad's sickness. And I'm sold. Nothing more happened. There was nothing else that had to happen in my life to make me realize that there is a God. Right. And he can do anything he wants to do. And he loved me just that much. So my thing is, I have to do something. What can I do to say thank you? You know, we experience this life where you do things for people. And sometimes all we want to just hear, thank you. And a lot of people that don't get that thank you, it bothers them. Right. So in my return, and knowing how it feels, my thing is to God, that's my way of telling God, thank you. Thank you for keeping my parents here. So I'm giving back to the world. Or letting them know who he is. Introduce him to, and let them know that he can do it all.
Right.
Yeah.
And God say, if you give, when you get more, you get more back. Right?
Well, then my experience is, And my blessings, how they flowing for me is because of how much I do give. I'm always excited to be a blessing. And it's not always financially. It can also be through an encouraging word. It can also be through an inspiring somebody. It's always where you can just pass somebody on the shoulder, let them know that everything's gonna be okay.
Right.
I'm giving back in every way I know how. But everything that I do, Eric, I make sure I do it from this heart of mine. I'm never doing nothing for show because that's not me. I'm not that fake, phony person guy that walk and talk what he says and don't believe in what he's at. That's not me.
Right.
I'm 100. So I found out being 100, God stays with me because I'm 100. So since I know it works for me, you never have to wonder about how Elijah is. Eligha Pryor is always 100. I'm never going to lose that connection with God because I found out it's the greatest. And it works for me. And it'll work for you.
All right. It's great stuff.
Hey, this is real coming from, this is my heart. So I'm hoping the world feel it. I'm hoping that you feel it because I'm passionate how I feel about God and knowing what He can do.
Having said that, what are your goals now?
The goals I have now, and I know this is 2019, but I've been ever since 2000 and ever since he started the healing process with my father, it has always been giving back. But I found out as I'm getting older and as I see God, how He continually blessing me and just blessing me. My goal and my passion is to see all good people do better. To see all good people grow. And to see and try to bring the best out of people. Because, again, I was that kid that was not the best kid. I was the baddest kid in the family. And if God gave me a chance, I'm sure He'd give everybody else a chance. And so if I could help God, if I could be a spoken vessel, if I could be his guy to go tell the people about Him, I'm that guy. So my goal is to let everybody know you can do it. That's me. That's my goal, man. I want to see all good people just to do better. To do better. And and when they go through things, don't trip because sometimes it's needed. I've been through so much in my life. And I look at how I look better than I was. I look better now when I thought I had it going on. It's God, man. So why would I not tell the people that He can do it? So that's me, man. My goal is just to see all people, and especially the good people, just to do better. Don't just be here on earth because somebody needs you. Somebody needs your encouragement. Somebody needs your testimony. So I wanted to try to help people to get it out of them. Do not die and leave all those things that could have helped the next generation. Don't take it to the grave. Leave it here so the world can grow off of what you've been through. That's what I'm here. And that's what I'm going to do until the day I die.
That's right. What are something you want to accomplish?
Again, I just want to inspire the world. I want to motivate the world.
And you're doing it now.
And I want to let people know that they can do it.
Right.
That's what I want to do. And that's my biggest goal.
Right. I guess that's probably answer my next question. It would be like, what do you want to see while you're alive?
That's what I want to see. I want to
Right.
see where my hard work and my dedication and my faithfulness
Mm-hmm.
to this mission. I would like to see that lives have been changed through me talking to them, through me mentoring them, any shape and form, through the website, through the internet, through the YouTube, through the Facebook, through the Instagram. If I can see that I have inspired people to make their lives better, that's what I would like to see before I close my eyes.
It's exactly what I want to see.
You know.
And are you available to book for special engagement?
Yes, Eric. I'm available, and the way to reach me, I have an email address. Is let me get you motivated today at gmail.com. Office number 800-398-1755 to reach Eligha Pryor. I'm always available and will love to participate in any event. They're going to have people that's looking for a way or an idea to help them change their life. There's a lot of people looking for good leadership, you know. There's a lot of people that are looking for somebody to encourage them. That's me. I can do it all. I have been through so much. I just know I could encourage everyone, even the businesses. I've been a business owner ever since I've been 18. And not just a business owner saying I have a business. Every business that I own is successful. So I can go to business meetings and set the crowd on fire and energize them for the employer, helping their employees, giving them different mindset on why their position at their job is important, letting them know that you're not just a person that clocking in, you're a person that is here to help the company grow, so you can always have somewhere to clock into to take care of your family.
That's right.
I can do that. I can do that. Football team, back to any sport. Being around kids, I'm that motivator.
That's right.
I've been that sports player. I know what it takes. I wasn't the guy that sits on the bench. I work out at night, work all day long just to make sure I'm not on the bench.
Right.
I know what it takes, and I don't even know how I feel to sit on the bench. But I do know how I feel for somebody to be in front of me,
Right.
but I'm always trying to figure out a way to get in front of them.
That's right.
So I'm that guy that should book for any occasion. Churches, business, schools, anything. Contact Eligha Pryor. I guarantee to make a change at your event. Go ahead.
And I will add the contact information at the bottom of this video. So
Okay, I really appreciate it.
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate it.
Mhm. And last question, but least, what makes you different from other speakers?
What makes me different from other speakers? I mean, put it this way, Eric. I'm only gonna tell you about me. I have a passion, a strong desire just to inspire people coming from here. When I do that, I get chills because I'm excited. This is not something that I do just to be doing. I do it because I got a passion for it. I do it because I have the excitement. I have a lot of energy. And that's me. There's some guys, women, that are more laid back. It's not me. I'm that
Right.
guy. I'm a high powered,
Right.
energetic guy because I'm excited
Right. High energy.
to be able to tell you how to get through the tough times. That's me. But from what I'm hearing, when I go to be around different people and go to different events,
Right.
it seems to me that everybody say I have a high energy level.
That's right.
They can feel the vibe. I guess when you look at feeling the vibe, meaning that if you was at a stoplight and the guy behind you have these big old speakers, and you're like, I wish he'd turn that junk off, because he can't hear your music.
Right.
He's rattling your trunk your trunk,
Right.
but he's behind you. From what I'm hearing, is I bring a vibe like that where when I enter the building, everybody get energized.
Right.
Because actually that's me. So other word is like a connection.
Mm-hmm.
When people is looking for a motivational speaker, I'm the guy to get you motivated.
Right.
When you say motivational, it's somebody that's going forward.
Right.
Somebody that's motivated. I'm not coming in there relax. I'm coming in there to motivate you.
Motivate you.
I'm coming in there to hype you up.
Stand up and jump.
I am that guy. That is me. That is my makeup. I don't practice this. That is me.
It's a rare talent.
I want to be number one in everything I do, and and I want the people to be number one in whatever they decide to do too. That's me. I'm the guy.
Right.
I will say, if you want to book anybody, book Eligha Pryor.
All right.
That's what I say.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Eligha Pryor.
Hey.
Have a wonderful night.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Eric.
It's my pleasure.
It's greatly appreciated, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.